local bar there. We went back to that apartment. The 2 girls that were at the bar originally had to go home and left because they're nurses and they work long hours and they were just, that was their night out.
Right.
But the girls that, actually owned the apartment, they invited me back over, and
just say it, John.
One thing led to the next, and the one girl that was single, we ended up fucking.
It was a great night.
Wow, wow.
Great night.
Yeah.
So you hopped 2 girls to a party.
Nurses.
You hopped 2 nurses.
Yeah.
Well, the guy Chris was also trying so hard.
So you hopped 2 nurses and Chris. You leapfrogged.
He was his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, she's like, I don't. She blatantly told me this. This is how like direct we are in New York. She's like, we're sitting there on the couch, and I'm just enjoying my time. Like, I'm not expecting anything. I'm just enjoying my alcohol. I'm trying to catch up to everybody.
It's cool to just hang out, man.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to be fucking pointed at something.
I think
Exactly.
that's the issue a lot of times. Is people are so directed and like this is my focus, and it ruins,
and if it doesn't happen, then
it ruins everything.
Exactly.
No, when it happens, it happens better when I'm not,
Yeah, exactly.
But, so I'm sitting there, and she just blatantly looks at me, and she's like, I would like to fuck. And I was like,
So you say it just like that?
yeah.
And she looked over at you. Wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
she's like, I really want to hook up with you.
She goes,
and I was like, okay.
I would like to. Fuck.
I might be ad-libbing a bit, but she was like, I'd like to hook up with you. She said those words. And then the guy,
So can I sit in your face or?
yeah, why not? Let's do it.
I mean, I mean, in a single life and as a bartender and things like that, that's a perfect situation. I mean, I'm thinking of, I've been listening to our podcast and I'm like, man, we are really pushing the envelope on like, I want to be a bartender too. You know what I mean? Like, everything we've been talking about.
The water's warm.
Look,
Jump
guys,
on in, people.
we've brought up some dark sides, but I've been kind of doing the light and dark side, but we've been covering a lot of light. You know what I mean? So
The grass is greener.
yeah, we have been talking how we have put bartending in a very positive light, and which is not a bad thing because again, like we said the other day, it's something that we enjoy and we love, and then John's bringing in this. The gold dust on top of it, and I love it. You know what I mean?
Like that dude
But
is fake,
Frank
baby.
in Iowa right now is 19, and he's
Right.
like, in 2 fucking years, I'm moving to New York, and I'm going to smash so much.
So at the end of the day, we just might be the cocktail of like podcasts for bartending. Because like Cocktail came out, it's probably Tom Cruise's lowest rated movie on IMDb, but at the time that caused so many people to go like, I think I want to be a bartender. Like I'll pay $7,000 to go to this bartending school.
Oh, fuck that.
To get
seriously, I never went to
certificate.
bartending.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in this room has gone to bartending school.
None of us have, and that's for a later date.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
I think we should,
But yeah, this is just one of many stories. It's like,
Right.
you can't make it up. Like,
can't.
it should,
No.
You
I'm like,
can't.
what is happening? I'm just along for the ride and enjoying the ride.
Right.
Well, it's like, Chris,
It
they
is
were
pun
like, you
intended.
should write
Like
a
that, though.
book,
Pun
right?
intended.
It's like,
Yep.
for sure. Because the shit that we see on a daily basis,
It's just not normal.
it's not normal. It's
not
We're
normal. See, like-
barstool therapists, man. I mean, people just open up to us like we're your hairstylist.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know,
Man, let me tell you about my day.
And like
all right,
John's
whatever.
talking about is, this door just opens up to him. You know what I mean? He didn't put any focus towards it or
Nope.
try to make it happen. It's just like, hey, come in. You know what I
now,
mean?
It
was he
played
wearing
out.
really tight pants? He might have been.
I mean,
No, let's
no,
get real.
but-
you know? He was hanging to the
Yeah.
left.
But no, this is the thing. It's like our stigma is like, oh, bartenders and this, that, and the other, and the dating culture. It's like,
We don't force it.
I'm not trying to make
right.
anything happen. It just happens. And I'm like, what am I going to say? No.
Is that the?
If I'm actually, if
that's,
I'm,
that's the point of it, right?
The whole
that's,
point is
that's
like-
the whole point of this whole thing. It's like, so we don't force it. We're just there,
I mean, no means no, Chris.
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Like in any way, shape, or form. Like I think that people come into bars with their own mindset about what they want to do.
What we are and what we do,
Right.
and how we are with dating, or how we are with
Right. But the main thing is like we're our own people with our own lives. Some of us with kids, some of us with wives, some of us with serious girlfriends, some of us just absolutely single. You know what I mean? But don't walk into a fucking place and just
Assume.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're all humans. You can assume that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can say that can be a thing, but when it comes down to the other aspects, like you shouldn't assume that a female bartender is a specific way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you know what I mean?
Especially if just because she flirts with you does not mean that
She's gonna
she
fucking suck your dick.
wants your tips.
And I'll say this too.
She wants the tips, not the tip.
And then on that same note, which we'll get to another date too, is that flirting thing. It's like some men, if you fucking say hi to them, you know what I mean, as a woman that's attractive, it's like, this bitch likes me though. I'm gonna try to get her number. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tip her 10%. And I don't know how this even works in their head, but I've literally seen that happen. Like,
it's even better when they're hitting. They leave their number, and then the tip's
like a 10% tip.
10% tip's like, toss it.
Yep.
Fuck your number and your tip.
Yeah, nice try. Try again tomorrow.
Hey guys, this podcast is brought to you by that fucking asshole that's been annoying the shit out of my colleague. We'll just call her Ashley. You know what I mean? And puts his number down and leaves a 10% tip trying to win her over. You're an idiot.
I got a question. I have a pretty crazy story. Not crazy, just like kind of left field. So with speaking of tips, right? And this will be like we'll try to bring it home after this. Speaking of tips. John, what's the craziest thing you've ever done for a big tip? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever had somebody like, hey, like, if I give you, like, would you?
No, it's like most of my bartending experience has been actually not that crazy.
Not weird? Okay.
Like, the most I've ever done for a tip is like, hey, let me hook you up. Let me buy you, like, the typical bartender stuff. Like, oh, you've been drinking here. You've been friendly. Your tab's pretty high. I took care of the last couple rounds for you. Call it a day, and then my tip's there.
Yeah.
Good. That's so great. Anybody?
I don't have one specifically. I just know that at Yard House we've had this thing where, like, I can think of 4 people that would they come in and they're the regular and they know all of us, and they would just leave like $400 or $500 for whoever was working that night, just cause
they can ball out,
because they made it. You know what I mean? Nobody's like, they don't have this like, I think she's gonna sleep with me. You know what I mean? Maybe they do. I don't know. But they never was like really put out there. They just go like, yeah, I love you guys. You guys make me feel good. And they go like, here's $400. You know what I mean? So
we all have those regulars.
Yeah.
We have those regulars who are like, hey, they come in,
they
just
go
to one thing or 10 things, just throwing down some money.
Right.
You got one?
I kind of have one.
I got one too.
So,
no shit.
So, okay, I will say, so living in Virginia, we have some of the best cougars on the market. Like, we really do. I mean, I'm talking like these divorcees coming in. Mama's hot for the weekend. And I've definitely... this
Girls'
is
night.
kind of embarrassing because I feel like a piece of meat.
Oh my God,
but you are.
Oh, well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. But, like, straight up, I have been bartending. And, you know, and I treat everyone the same. You know, I flirt with everyone. You know, just want everyone to have a good time. But this group of 4 ladies decided, oh, you know what? Let's get him to show us his abs and take his shirt off.
No, I mean, yeah, I've done that.
They're not even that nice, but holy hell did I make these ladies' day. Holy hell. It's like, okay, well, daddy ain't taking his shirt off lately. But they definitely came up to me and they were like, hey, $20 says you won't lift up your shirt and show me your stomach. And I was like, girl, 40 says it will.
Okay, man.
And exactly. And then Genuine Pony came on, and then the pants came off too. I don't even know what happened. No, that didn't happen. But I mean, every once in a while, you gotta make her happy.
I've had that happen to me before too.
I had it.
But I will say real quick.
Yeah.
The best part though is I love my wife so much. This is her. So she literally goes right behind these ladies. They can't see her, and she's just like kind of squatting, clapping her hands, and she's like, "Make mommy money," like just mouthing it to me. And I'm like, "All right, girl, if you're cool with it, then fuck it. Here we go. Shirt's coming off." So that would probably be my silliest story of getting an extra tip from ladies.
All right, Chris, let's hear yours.
So I've got a story. God damn it. Anyway. So the way that the story goes is, being down in a resort town, you meet a lot of transient people. Sometimes these transient people are older people, you know. So I've got the same thing, slinging. It's outside patio bar. It's fucking nice outside, you know, beautiful. Drinks are flowing. Everybody's having a good time. The ocean's right there. I have this woman. She's like, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Whatever. Slide her check over. She goes, how much do you want me to tip you? And I'm like, back in the day, I used to be like, oh, like, I don't know, whatever you think like it's worth. Like nowadays, I'm immediately like $50. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Good solid number.
100
Like,
is my new thing. Like, 100.
Whatever.
splitting with other bartenders. Like 50's
We'll
good.
negotiate down from there.
Yeah.
What cash you got in your
If
purse?
if you want to go for it, I'll just go for it. But anyway, but I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. She goes, all right, well, I'm like, I don't know, like, whatever you think. She goes, I think 10's good. I'm like, 10's great. Like, appreciate you. Thanks so much. Like, all the good shit. And she's like, well, how about I tip you 20? And I go, I mean, okay, that's cool. Even better. Like, sure, yeah, go ahead and tip me 20. She goes, but here's the stipulation. And I go, okay. And she's like, I'll tip you $20 if you turn around and I can grab your butt. And I go, I'm like, starting to blush. You know what I mean? Started like
You
laugh.
can't help it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
laugh
oh,
and giggle.
shit, okay.
Remind you that this is like, I was 22 at the time. I was 22. Wow. This is years ago, right?
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I'm just fresh into it. I'm like, yeah, this is.
Grab that ass.
Yeah.
Slap both cheeks.
Come on.
You know what? Credit card, mate.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Who's he kidding? It was last week.
No, it was definitely when I was 22. But I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, $20. So she writes $20 down on the tip line. I take it. I'm like geeking out. Turn it all around. Put my fucking butt in there. She goes.
popping it out.
She goes to reach in. She like grabs it real quick, and she's like an older lady. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we're laughing. Everything's cool. I'm like, hey, so nice to meet you. Blah 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 blah. Fucking reach my hand out to go shake her hand, right? And she like goes to shake my hand, and she like grabs my wrist, takes my hand, throws it down her blouse, and feels all up on her titty. I mean, like it. Yeah, right. I'm in there, right?
Cupping.
I'm in there. I'm like, what the fuck? It's going shock, complete shock. You know what I mean? Complete
Shock
utter
because
shock.
the breasts were so nice, or
No, shock because this is a fucking family restaurant, and I've got. And
Is this the B-dubs? Is this the B-dubs we spoke of?
I mean,
No.
it sounds like B-dubs.
Yeah, and I've got
B-dub.
and this woman has now forced my hand down her fucking blouse, and I'm like, ma'am, what the fuck? What the fuck? She goes, sweetie, when you get my age, you got to take it when you can get it.
Shout out those cougars out there. I love it.
Damn it.
Cheers to that.
Cougars
Yeah.
go hard, man.
Oh yeah, they
God
don't.
bless
They
them.
know what they want. You
Yeah.
know? Beautiful man such as yourself, Chris. I'm not even surprised.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised you didn't put both hands down the blouse.
Yeah, seriously, bro.
Look, man, back when I was younger, and that's where I'll leave it. guys. Hey, thank you once again for checking back in. We really appreciate you. Passing the Bar podcast. I just want to give a huge shout out to Stratus Media Group for always supporting us. You guys are absolutely awesome. Evan, do you have any closing remarks?
No, not really. I mean, just thanks again to John coming out to talk to us about this topic of relationships in bars. And then, hey guys, if you see somebody that's drunk in a bar and they're coming to drink with you, just be more careful to make sure that they, don't cause any problems for themselves or anybody else. Because we are responsible at the end of the day. We are at those crossroads and
Drink responsibly.
drink responsibly.
Drink
yeah.
responsibly.
It's not
Make
just
sure
a
you get
cliche.
home safely.
It's
It's
not
too easy
just a
not.
cliche.
Steve, you got something to close it down with?
Well, I mean, y'all fucking touched on every point, but yeah,
Literally every fucking.
every point. But again, so okay, we've touched on that, and then now, Chad, if you're going to order a drink for a girl across the bar, check with the bartender.
Just
see
because
what they
don't.
want.
Just be fucking cool.
Don't ever assume, and be cool.
Just be
all right?
cool, man.
And also, yeah, if we're cutting you off, it's probably for a good reason. Obviously, we want your business. Keep that in mind. So if we're cutting you off, it's for a reason. Be safe. We love you. God bless.
And huge thanks for Jon Flores from New York, bartender, model, actor extraordinaire. Thank you so much.
all I said was John, and I apologize.
Yeah,
I didn't have the
thank you so much
yeah.
for coming down, man. We're super
for
happy
sure.
to have you on the show. And yeah, man, good luck in New York.
I mean,
Keep
yeah.
smashing.
Yeah, just keep knocking them home.
We're all living vicariously.
Vicariously.
Or find that special someone.
Yeah,
Or find that, yeah.
You know what I
Listen,
mean?
this is the
You have all the options right
little
now.
secret to it is just not forcing the situation. Just
Right.
live your best life, and situations will happen.
live your best life.
Yeah. I think that was a solid message. Is stop looking to that point and then just
just live in the moment.
Live in the
Just
moment.
1 second, and then just appreciate every moment that's coming. Because New York is a beast of a city. So
Speaking of New York, guys, if you're listening, if you're in New York ever, make sure you look up Jon on Instagram. He's Jon Flores NYC.
spell it out because people will put the H.